You didn't even fucking hit record.
You were muted and I didn't even hit record.
Oh
so,
my Lord. So you were just talking to yourself that whole time.
Yeah, so we were just doing a practice intro. So let's try this right now. Ready?
All right, let's see what happens.
Welcome back to Started Now. I'm your host, Jeff Saris, and I have someone laughing in my face as I do this intro. So this episode, if you can't already tell, is different than the normal ones. We're calling this Side Hustle Saturday. Every Saturday, we're going to release a new episode where we are documenting my guest, my favorite person in the world, most favoritist. The first time I tried to say this, I said favoritist person, and like we're just stumbling over everything right now.
It was just mayhem.
But we're documenting Amara's journey in starting her side hustle.
Hello out there, everybody. Nice to meet you. Long-time listener, first-time caller, or visitor. I live here, but first time...
First
Hi.
time something.
Yeah.
And you're waving to the camera. So this is going out just on the normal podcast feed for Starting Now. But then also the video version is going to be on Amara's YouTube channel. So,
Yeah, come check us out.
Yeah, so it's just as simple. It's a little different setup than normal. So if you're watching this, hello.
Hello.
Hello. What?
Oh my God. Oh, this is off to a great start.
But we're going to... let's see what's going on here. Okay, sweet. Just checking all my levels because when we started, I messed up a little bit. I'm all excited to be recording this, but we're doing this a little differently, where it's just in my office, not set up as I normally do for podcasts, and it's probably a little more echoey than normal, just because. Yeah, we want to do this as something that's quick and easy to every week. Just jump in and
just
and have
casual.
A little chat. Yeah. So, who are you?
Who am what? Oh my God, is this how it starts? No. So blah blah blah. Who are you? Hi everyone. My name's Amara. I don't know. Who am I? That is, well, do you want like the philosophical debate? Like, who am I? Who do I think I am? Or
I mean, that's always fun, but it's funny because we had our own podcast, Control F. We still do, but we just haven't recorded anything.
It's on hiatus because I've gotten busy with many other things that we'll discuss in this episode, hopefully, or not, or we'll see what happens,
definitely.
or in all these episodes.
But yeah, this is, it's funny because this is, now you're in my show, but this feels like our other show, so I need to figure out how this is. But,
yeah.
Okay, so who is Amara Andrew? Like, who are you, just not philosophically, but like, what are you doing?
Well, just... Currently, I am an archivist at a university, which I love history. So that's like awesome. I get to touch old stuff all day and like take care of it. So I guess I'm like a caretaker of old things. So not old people, just old things. So yeah, archivist. I am also a historian, and lately I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. Starting a YouTube channel, starting an Etsy shop. Just all these things. I don't know. I don't know who I am. This is
But yeah, we're here to talk about like that stuff, all the side hustle and what you're building and what you're doing outside of your job.
Yeah.
And I mean,
fun stuff.
Yeah, I think it's exciting, and I mean it's really useful too for people to see like how do you start something from the ground floor. So this series is it's Side Hustle Saturday, but it's literally you starting your side hustle from nothing. I mean, and you've been working on things for the last year or so. So let's actually dive in there.
Okay. Let's do it.
What are some of the things that you're working on right now? Like what's sort of your main thing?
So currently right now, YouTube is kind of my main focus. That's been really interesting to get into. So yeah, definitely YouTube, my Etsy shop, of course. I always have this.
You say of course, but people listening have no
idea. I know. Of course, duh. You guys know, or you all know. Yeah, I'm just trying a bunch of different things and just seeing kind of what I like, and yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, you're working on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Etsy is the thing that you're working on that's bringing in a little bit of money here and there.
Oh yeah.
And
I say, oh yeah, I'm like rolling in it.
Oh no! And throughout this year, you've tried various different things. So at the very beginning of, I say this past year, so not the calendar year, but since 2020,
or end of 2019, actually, we started my website.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that was my first post on there was about Christmas cocktails, and that was so much fun, just shooting all the photos and trying to set up the scene and making the recipes and everything. And that was when it was like, oh, I love doing this. Like I get to put all my art school stuff that I learned like to good use. And I don't know. It was just fun. Like it fills that creative need I have, because my day job is very analytical and like fact-based and not numbers, but it's just that kind of like, you're
what does it mean
synthesizing
to be an
things.
archivist? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? And of course,
Yeah.
I'm asking these questions for the audience because,
Well, yeah, it's a
I
little
know,
weird having
it's funny.
this conversation because it's like, you know everything. But yeah, basically, as an archivist, my day-to-day job is to figure out how to preserve historic artifacts. So things that are not just artifacts, but materials with historical significance. What does that mean? Well, it's very subjective. It's like such a subjective term. So that's why you have a professional look at things and kind of try to figure out, okay, this should exist and should be saved for future people to use for research and stuff like that. So yeah, basically just preserving that and working on a lot of fun spreadsheet kind of activities. And yeah, just like I said, very analytical kind of stuff and trying to use your brain.
Uh-huh. But yeah, I mean, art is where you come from. That's your, like, at your core.
That is just me from out of the womb. I was drawing and painting and everything. But
So,
yeah, I definitely come from more of an art background, so it's been interesting trying to do something not art related. Like, I also make exhibits for my job, so that's more my bread and butter, I would say.
and exhibits are essentially putting these pieces together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like trying to find the cohesive narrative and being able to build stuff in the cases and everything. And yeah, I love just like making stories from the materials. It's really fun.
Definitely. Yeah, it's almost like a museum. I mean, you're building an exhibit for people to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just to sort of paint the picture for the listeners.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm new to this.
Hey, I am too. I'm still figuring all this out.
No,
and I'm
you do
moving my
great.
water because I don't see it past this microphone, and I am sure I'm going to knock it right into the...
Yeah, that is
The
why mine
roadcaster?
is safe over there, because I'm such a freaking klutz.
No, you're not a klutz. But early in the year, early in 2020, you set yourself up really for a huge opportunity, like an opportunity that never would have come about.
Oh, yeah, with TikTok, right?
Yeah, so you started
Yeah.
your TikTok.
Well, so on the website first, I was trying to do outfit stuff, but then I was like, oh, God, this isn't me. Like, I just throw on whatever I can find in my closet. Like, I like making outfits, but taking pictures of them
She
and
says
stuff.
that. You throw on whatever's in your closet. You think about it. What about today?
This actually only took like 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm just teasing. It only took like 15 seconds. I was like, well, this is okay.
No, but you think it through, and you come and you're like, okay, is this good for the podcast? Should I wear jewelry or anything? I'm like, no, we're just doing this. This is just a Friday thing. Well, recording Friday, Friday night,
I
and
didn't even
releasing
really
Saturday.
put makeup on, so hi there. So anyway, so yeah, I started with outfit stuff, and then I was like, this really isn't my kind of vibe. Like, I don't want to have to tell people, hey, go buy this, because I don't know, I don't like that. Just in like an outfit kind of sense. I like to recommend things that I really like. Anyway, this is just going down the crapper real quick.
No.
So then started with that, and then yeah, I started a TikTok account at the beginning of the pandemic, which it was more so just to like have fun and take my mind off of all the sheer hell that was breaking loose between like the person that was the acting president at the time, and then just the pandemic and all the stress and everything. So I just made it to look at stuff, and then I was like, fuck, I should just like start posting art history content on there, because that's what both of my degrees are in. So yeah, and I just thought it would be fun to like bring education or like educational content to people who otherwise might not be able to afford going to a museum or something, or might not be able to access it for whatever kind of reasons. Just making art and history accessible to people, I guess, was like my primary goal.
Oh, yeah. And then instead of dancing on there, you were actually educating people and entertaining them through education.
Yeah, like trying to get people interested in it.
I mean, but
it's so interesting.
But then what happened? How quickly did you grow?
Oh, it was literally overnight. I went from, I think, like 50 people to the next morning I had like 8,000 followers, and then 10,000, and then 13,000. And that's kind of where I've stayed.
Yeah.
Cause
It was quick. You say overnight,
Yeah.
but it did take, you were publishing some videos until one hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took, I think it was my How to Read an Erotic 18th Century French Painting Part 2 that really took off. Which is funny because that was based off my thesis. So then it was like, oh my God, people actually care about this. It's not just me being like, this French painting's really cool.
And you were getting a lot of engagement right away. Like, not just likes, but interaction with a community. And you had never built a community before, which I don't know, I was really happy and excited for you to see that happening.
Yeah, I love everybody on there. Like, for the most part, like, everybody who's genuinely there for the right reasons and who's, like, part of our crew is just, like, awesome. Like, oh my God, I love everybody on there. So I feel bad that I haven't been posting as much, but I've been so freaking busy with everything.
Well, we're going to explain what you've been doing instead. I mean, but first...
I love everybody on there.
Well, and I always like to just say that, like, opportunity comes from action. So the more that you do, the more opportunity you're going to have.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you were a little reticent to start on TikTok.
I was terrified to start on TikTok because I was like, oh my God, people that I don't know are going to be watching me do stuff. And, like, historical stuff is very subjective in a way. So, like, the way that you choose to spin the story, obviously, is always up to the person who is telling the story. Mm-hmm. So I was always really worried that I would, like, fuck something up or get something wrong or say something in a way that wasn't how I meant it, because I do that a lot, unfortunately, without, like, meaning to. So I was so worried about that. And then I was also even just, like, worried about, like, being recognized somewhere, because I was like, oh my God, what if, like, people are just like, I know you? And it's like,
and I was also like, it is so hard to build a platform.
You're like, don't worry about it. Because
I
was like,
no
but what if people, like, show up to our house?
Well, this is then I'm like, no one's going to see it for a very, very long time. But then a lot of people did see it.
And then it was literally the next day.
But, like, at the same time, expecting, like, you see someone on YouTube, 1 million views, 10 million views, all these things. I mean, that is just the
that comes with
0.0001%
years of work being like pushed into it. Like, you don't see all the 50 million other things that they tried before they got to this point. So, yeah.
But TikTok, you never tried to monetize. Like you said, you're not using it as much now. But it opened up opportunity for you. So what was that opportunity?
So in addition to posting to TikTok, I would also post the videos to my other social media accounts, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And my old, I hate when I say that, my professors from my undergrad college, they actually asked me to teach for a semester, which I was like, that's so cool, to teach an art history course. Mm-hmm. And that was, like, so awesome, because I loved my undergrad. Like, oh my, I would move in there, honestly, if I could. I loved it so much. Columbia College Chicago, shout out.
But yeah, who knew? Like, you had no plans on teaching. Like, that was never even something. You don't have a teaching degree, which isn't necessary, which it's surprising it's not necessary, but at the same time, it makes sense because you're a professional.
Yeah.
Like, you're a professional in the space, so you're able to teach about what you know and your experience going through the course, and not teaching your experience, but you already experienced the course, so you know the content inside and out.
It was funny because that was the first course I ever took at Columbia, the one that I ended up teaching, which I was like, this is so weird being on the opposite end of it. But then now, like, having gone through advanced, like, degree programs and stuff, it's like, oh, I totally understand. Like, this is, like, easy stuff. So easy, sort of. But yeah, I was, like, so extremely flattered too, because I was like, you are the most brilliant people that, like, I can think of. So I don't know, it was very, like, oh my gosh, I don't belong here. Like, it felt like imposter syndrome, which is something I wanted to talk about too.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, with building your TikTok, it's like, oh, why am I doing this? Like, what's the point? And I think
and for me, it was just something fun to do like something to pour my creativity into.
But then how will I turn it into something?
Exactly.
And like, I think the important part is you don't know. Like, you have no idea how, like, just doing these different things with your YouTube channel right now, it's still early.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't know what opportunities will come your way and what's going to happen. But until you're doing something, there's nothing to. Why do you have such a big smirk on your face?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just smiling. I like smiling. Smiling's my favorite.
Yeah, it is.
But with TikTok, I meant, like, I had intended to make long form YouTube videos out of my 60-second art history TikToks. But then with teaching, it was like, oh, I'm so busy with that, plus my daytime job. And then just, like, trying to build all these things, it was like, I can't even handle one more thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, unfortunately that had to go to the wayside, but I'm going to do it. Back.
Yeah, I mean, the people are still there, and people have followed you elsewhere to Instagram and YouTube and things, and, like, reach out and, like, say that they miss you, which is awesome. Like,
I love them.
Yeah, you've built, like, a real community there.
Yeah, and, like, we should all go, like, get coffee or something. Like, that'd be so fun. Well, I don't really drink coffee as much anymore.
Yeah, not as much caffeine, but
I do it.
you could do a live stream and all sorts of, like, we'll talk about all different opportunities and in this show. I mean, we're going to dive into what you're doing and the strategy behind like the next steps, and we'll see and like document and see how it went, along the way.
Like, you're a seasoned professional, so you have so much more experience in this space, which has been like incredibly helpful. I'd probably be sitting in a gutter somewhere, like eating fries or something. I don't even know what I'd be doing. But no, it's been so
if you didn't get on TikTok, you'd be in a gutter. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. TikTok was like my gateway drug to this.
Okay. So you have that. TikTok honestly brought back thousands of dollars in revenue unexpectedly because you made money. Yeah. Like, we don't know. When it comes to stuff like that, we're not going to talk about exact numbers or anything, but like to teach
$1 million.
But to teach a course is several $1,000s, and you'd have never had that opportunity had you not taken the action and gone ahead. And so I want to zoom forward a little bit to the other things that you're working on, because you're on Etsy and you're using your art, your inclination to create art. I don't want to say your art background because you've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
But I guess background, but your origin story as an artist, and you've been
my
creating
original
some
passion. Because then, going to school, I found other passions as well. But like my core passion, illustration.
So what have you been doing? What kind of products and things have you been putting on Etsy?
So I started off with prints. Well, first I actually started off with making skate decks, which I still love. It's a little expensive to produce them because it would have to kind of be on a bulk kind of scale.
And you've made them, but you never tried to sell those.
Yeah, not yet. Because I hand draw everything on them and hand paint them and everything. So it's a little time consuming.
It is a true one of one.
Literally, like very much so. But I need to like perfect my craft with that, but I don't know.
Well, no, I think they're awesome. I think the hard part though was you didn't want to give them away then.
Yeah,
you have a connection to them.
Yeah, and when I make other ones, like I'll still have somewhat of a connection, but then it'll be like, no, you're going to a better home, little one. Very well. But yeah, so I started out with skate decks, and then I moved up to prints. After I saw the cool one that you made, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I should do that. So yeah, just making prints, and then I went to greeting cards, and now I'm at stickers. I have always loved stickers. Like when my dad would go on business trips and like I would get to go with him or something, I would have like sheets of stickers and I would stick them all over his briefcase. And like to the day that he got rid of his briefcase, he still had some of the stickers on him, which I was like, that's so cute. I was like, you have little puppies all over your briefcase. But yeah, I love stickers. I want to do pins as well, but that's like something in the future.
Well, yeah, we've figured out. So for you, using Printful made a lot of sense for the prints.
Oh my God, Printful has been so fucking helpful to make prints, because I was like, how the hell am I going to print it? Like I could print it out if I had an industrial kind of printer.
Yeah.
But that's been so helpful because they print it out for you. It's like perfect. It looks so awesome. And they send it for you too. So it's just, people just click to buy it on your Etsy shop, they buy it, and then it gets sent to them.
Yeah, so you can focus on the part that matters. That's sort of how we build our business, is what we do is so you can focus on the part that matters.
Exactly.
It's creating your content, creating your art, and then you integrated Printful with Etsy. And then once you integrate it there, when they place the order on Etsy, it goes right through, everything happens, it's all done because you did all the work up front, which is awesome.
Yeah. But it's like an artist's dream come true. Like, not that I'm calling myself an artist, but it's just like a dream come true. Like, oh, I can create things and then I don't have to worry about, oh my God, is it going to print properly? Is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? When that's like their job is it's in their fucking name, Printful. So.
But then the stickers, that is all you.
Yeah, handmade, hand cut, like everything is literally by hand. It's like I'm Amish. So.
Well, I guess
I love it, though.
The printing is a printer. It's not screen printed.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Screen ideas. Yeah. But yeah, so I print them on the printer and then hand laminate them. Well, I put laminate on them. That took a little bit of figuring out thanks to you, because at first I was using Krylon, which that was a nightmare to try to figure out, especially here in Chicago in the winter. So what was it for?
Yeah, the Krylon.
Oh, it was to make sure that my stickers were waterproof and
so they don't run, because on an inkjet, I mean, it's liquid ink. It's not, I mean, you add liquid to it and that's what makes it makes it work.
Yeah. So it was just to make sure that they were like sealed in and like ready to go. But yeah, trying to find a day where it wasn't windy here was like, oh my God. I got so pissed off when I was outside trying to spray them.
Well, in the first couple, you used almost like a whole can on them and stuff.
Well,
They
that
were
was
all
the
curled.
thing too.
And...
Like, because I've used it before, but only for like certain projects and not for like things where you could really tell that it was like...
Well, and like in
runny.
your mind, you're like, I'd love for these to go on a water bottle or something that's going
or
to
a
get
laptop
wet.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
A laptop just drenched in water.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just dip my electronics in water. I take them in the ocean.
Yeah, but then you moved over to using the laminate. And
oh my God, that's so like as an archivist though, hearing laminate just strikes fear into my heart because lamination will degrade over time. It takes like decades and it gets all yellowy and sticky and yucky, but these are just stickers for $3.50 on Etsy.
Well, yeah, and I mean, this is a product meant to be used. It's not something meant to archive.
Right, it's not an historical object or something.
And you're also not laminating something that otherwise wouldn't be.
Right.
Because this is protecting it. This just makes more sense. And I'm glad it works out. So you're using just the laminate sheets.
So awesome. Oh my God. It's so nice. And it's so much less time consuming too, because the Krylon took like hours to dry and it's just a fucking nightmare. I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
But yeah, laminate so easy. You just put it on and then you can cut them out like immediately, which is so awesome.
Which you're doing by hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now you're cutting everything by hand with nice quality scissors.
Oh yeah. They're actually awesome scissors.
Have you posted your video about stickers? I forget.
Yeah, I did. How I make my stickers.
Yeah. So that's already on the YouTube channel if you want to check it out. So just.
Yeah. I have recommendations for all my tools in the description. Those scissors that I use, oh my God, they're like my favorite scissors. I'm so glad I got those. Well, I've had them for like a decade now, actually. So weird to like think about. Oh my God, ew, I'm old.
You are not old.
I feel
you ding dong.
Sorry. But yeah, great scissors.
Yeah, but yeah, the whole thing, you can see Amara's whole process on YouTube. I forget which videos are up and which aren't yet because you're ahead.
Yeah.
Ahead of schedule.
Trying to
ahead of schedule. So
ahead of schedule. At you, governor.
But yeah, so you're not making a ton of money on Etsy, but it's one more creative outlet that I think is going to open up other avenues, whether it's opportunities doing illustrations for people or just the internal of that.
Well, yeah, I just enjoy it. Like, it's just so fun. And like, even though it sounds like hell, like hand cutting stickers, which some of them are a little not awesome to cut out.
Yeah, you don't make them round and square. You make them intricate cuts. So.
Well, yeah, I like the pizzazz. But there is something just like soothing and meditative about that practice. Like if I just put in music and I'm just cutting, I'm just like, hey, I'm cutting stickers. And you're like, okay. But yeah, if you really get in the zone, it's just, I don't know, it's very fulfilling.
So I think this episode, we're sort of just diving into what you're doing and whatnot. But
yeah,
I think a big takeaway is to do more. Like do more to find where you're going to see, because in just doing,
that's like the hardest part. And I know you say it, I know everybody says it, but seriously, just because I had so many things like, well, what do I start with? Because then you have it in your head like, oh, I'm going to be known for being the outfit lady or whatever, you know?
Well, like you have to choose one thing, and you don't have to choose one, like you don't have to pick a brand name that is like amarasstickers.com, and it's like that is not, I don't know if someone owns that domain, so if you go there at your own risk.
Don't go there.
But yeah, you don't have to pick a single lane because you don't know what you want out of life, because even as an 18-year-old or 17-year-old or whatever, when you graduate high school, it's like, okay, choose what you want to do forever.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, that's wild where it's
like, I think I want to move to Manhattan and live in a $2,000 month rent apartment because I have no idea the concept of money yet, which is ridiculous. But.
But there's so much to learn that like you're still learning. You're just turned 28 and but like you're still figuring out what you want. And I think what's unfortunate about schooling and working a job is you lose that, I don't know, the freedom to explore and to question and wonder like, oh, what would it be like as a kid? What would it be like to be an astronaut? Like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a paleontologist.
Yep,
that's exactly what I was thinking. But like, I want to be a paleontologist. All these things that as a kid, it's like, oh yeah, that'll be fun. Go for it. But then as soon as you're an adult, it's like, okay, no, let's get realistic.
Exactly.
You need a job in an office. Let's do, this is
Until
what you want to go
die.
for. Where I think it's really important to, like, I don't know, like dream less, do more, I feel like is sort of at the core of what I want to say, just because like with this podcast and with everything is we can spend years just dreaming of, oh, what if I start that? Oh, that could be good. Oh, I wish that nothing happens until you're doing it, until you're taking the action. So it just opens up so many other doors. So I actually want to go through just a list of the things that you're working on right now, that all the things that you've done in the last year. We did it, but just a quick bullet list.
Oh my God. Okay. Website.
Yeah, so blogging.
Yeah.
Blogging and developing.
Website.
So these are different things. So you're blogging, but you're developing recipes.
Yeah.
You have some fashion things.
Yeah. The history of various things, which I still want to get back to that, but that is so time consuming, especially when I'm not making any money from it. Not that everything's about money, but...
Well, no, but this is how you're exploring. You're really enjoying that part.
Oh, I love that. That's been so much fun.
Yeah, and it's funny because what did you tell me earlier about like the traffic to the posts?
Oh, yeah. So the traffic to my website is specific. So when I wrote the history of whatever, so like I did the history of the green utility jacket, the history of the moto jacket, and then 8 Great Depression recipes, and I ranked them, which ones should stay in the 30s, which ones should be brought back, and which ones are like, kind of on the fence. Those have been my most popular posts. Oh, and National Piñata Day, the history of the margarita, like all those things, which I never thought that those would be popular at all. Like, I didn't think people honestly gave a shit about history. I thought it was just me and like 10 other people, including my dad.
But you invested the time to create a complete piece. I mean, because the history of the piñata, it covers everything. I mean, and
as far as you can.
Well, no, but like, so not from a historian's perspective, but from as much as you could do in one post. And as you learn more, you can go back and develop it further.
Oh, yeah. Which is the history of the piñata. Piñata is fascinating, by the way.
Definitely. Which we have an episode of the other podcast, Control F, all about it. So if you're listening to this and you're curious about, to learn specifically about the piñata, you can go over to, byamara.com. So it's byamara.com/piñata, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Or from there, you can also find the Control F episode called Pin Yada Yada Yada.
You love that so much.
I was really happy with it.
I love it too. Yeah.
But yeah, so, okay. I stopped counting. I think we were at 4. Okay. So you're doing
podcast?
Recipes. You're doing, recipes, fashion, history, and that's all within the blog. So we'll say that's 3 different things that you're exploring, figuring out what you like. I don't know, just testing the water of what you like and how you can use it. We have the podcast Control F. You have another podcast that we only have a trailer for.
I know,
but we're going to keep going with it. I'm really excited for that one. I think you are too, because
I'm very excited for it because. Yeah, I think it's going to be more useful than anything, which...
Yeah, it's not a podcast. It's a podcast that will guide you through cooking recipes. So it's taking Amara's recipes, in the future taking other recipes, like other people can submit and do different things. And you will...
to me.
But you'll be in their ear, guiding them along the way, which actually...
Hello.
Well...
Grab the carrot.
Yeah, just like that.
Grate it.
That is exactly what people want. I mean, maybe
some ASMR stuff.
There you go. But yeah, it's like having someone not even teach, but guide you along your way while you're cooking, which I'm going to play that trailer real quick because I'm really proud of that trailer.
Yeah, I totally forgot what it sounds like.
I mean, I think it's good. So here we go. It's like 2 months ago already. We were going to start doing this, but because we're up to 5 things you're working on and we'll keep counting. Yeah. But yeah, let's just listen to the trailer real quick for By Ear, the podcast. Whoa. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what that was. That sounded weird.
Oh, I didn't even hear anything.
Yeah, it was just going really quickly.
Oh.
I think it's just how it's done. So, technical difficulties, 1 second. By ear. Da, 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 da. Okay, this should do it.
Have you ever found yourself scrambling to read and memorize a recipe from your phone or tablet while trying to not burn your dish or cover your expensive device in grease? Well, I've got you covered. My name's Amara Andrew, and I'm very excited to announce my new podcast, By Ear. By Ear is a guided recipe podcast with real-time instructions and countdown timers. No more running between the recipe and the stove or forgetting which step you're on. You now have a hands-free collection of your favorite recipes right at your ear tips. All you need are your ears, ingredients, and cooking utensils. I'll take care of the rest. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to By Ear wherever you get your podcasts. I look forward to cooking with you.
I like the laughter is not at the end of that trailer. That's just you here. you're in here dancing. So this is why you should be watching this video on YouTube, so you can see how excited Amara is about everything. It's just fun. I say everything just like it's like
I don't know. I'm excited to be alive. So yeah, I hate when people aren't excited about like anything. God, those are just the shittiest people, aren't they? I'm sorry.
As you get aggressive, like
if you're one
I'm
of them,
excited.
But like people are just like everything sucks. Well, you fucking suck. That's why everything sucks. Sorry, but it's true.
So
I hate negative people.
Well, yeah, there's no reason to be. I mean, there's so much to be happy and excited about.
Just being alive on this planet, like that's such a gift. Like I don't know.
This is why we have so much fun together.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We do all the time.
Mm-hmm. But okay.
Okay, back to business.
So,
do you normally touch your guests like this?
Through the computer.
Ooh. Honk, honk.
So we're at 5 things.
Yeah.
So the two podcasts. So 6 would be your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Which sort of overlaps with the other things.
Yeah. And then social media kind of, but
yeah, a little bit.
TikTok, I guess.
Yeah, TikTok, and you were teaching this past
and then Etsy.
Oh yeah, so that's 9.
And then I feel like there's like one more thing, but that might be it.
There's probably something we're forgetting, but I mean that's 9 different things, which sounds daunting. But this is you exploring, and I think that's just important to remember. Like you don't want to burn yourself out. Mm-hmm. You want to build a system and a lifestyle that you like, but until you start doing these things, you don't really know where you're going with it.
Oh, yeah. So, it's been fun trying all these different things because, I don't know, just having that creative freedom to do, like, it's scary because you can literally do anything, like, especially in our modern age. You could literally do anything. You can start a business in a day, which is pretty much what you and Dave did. So it's just, like, so daunting, but it's also so amazing because it's, like, today I feel like learning how to screen print or doing screen printing or whatever, like you can just fucking do it. Buy stuff on Amazon or at Blick or wherever you buy your art supplies and then just do it. Like it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. So
like that's what you do. You do so many different things.
Oh yeah, just always juggling a bunch. But like I think that's the way to go. But also a lot of times people can schedule every moment of every day.
Oh man, that drives me nuts. Like you don't get time for I do my best creative work when I'm just sitting staring out the window, which doesn't happen super often because like there's always stuff to do. But I don't know, sometimes I'm just sitting at my desk just like going like this, staring out the window. And then it's like, I should do, or when I was cooking, that's when I came up with the By Ear thing. And I was just like, that'd be kind of cool.
Well, you have to have downtime. Like that's important. And you can just burn yourself out really quickly in this space. In the space being like side hustles and doing things to make a few extra bucks or even just things that are enjoyable and building a community.
Yeah.
You can really burn yourself out quickly. So it's important to remember that. Like, why am I doing this in the first place? Is it to give myself a second job?
Yeah.
No, it's to do things that help me feel fulfilled.
Well, yeah, like scheduling everything like you're still working in a 9 to 5 or something, that just boggles my mind. But having like a general, obviously you can't just flit about and be like, whatever happens. But I mean, you could try and it might work for you. But having like a vague idea of what you need to do. Like I have a to-do list that just has a bunch of stuff listed and whatever, like kind of in order, kind of not, but whatever I can do that day, cool. Whatever I don't do, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. It's not going to kill me either way. So yeah, which I feel bad for people that schedule everything all the time because it's just too much pressure on yourself too. Like your expectations of yourself should be high, but they shouldn't be where you're miserable doing what you should be enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And that's part of doing this podcast too, and how we're doing it, where everything is being recorded on the Rodecaster here.
Mm-hmm.
When
It's
I'm done,
so cool.
yeah, I'm going to just upload it and it'll be in the feed.
Yeah.
And
then I'm just going to post this video and
yeah,
it'll be ready.
Yeah, a simple edit to maybe add like lower thirds or something. But yeah, you'll post it on your channel.
Let me get sexy.
in general, like we want to really produce everything and really spend all this post-production time, but you need to pick your battles and pick the things that it matters to invest more time in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We're trying this out. And this is going to be something.
This is just our quick little setup too. Just, hey, let's record right now. Okay, cool. Give me like 30 minutes and then here we are.
Yeah, instead of setting up the whole room, I literally just pulled the table out. Having the iMac here in the shot might be a little weird,
up my
but
Sony ZV-1 and we're set. Like it's so perfect. Like that is how I operate best, where like for now it's just like good enough, but like it's still perfectly great.
Well, yeah, and there's something to be said for not waiting for inspiration.
Oh yeah.
So like people say like, oh no, I only write when I'm inspired. Well, then you're just never gonna write. Like until those rare moments. But I think there is a balance between the two, where if it's just like every day I write for an hour, great. That's a great practice. But what about the moments when you're inspired to write that isn't during that window?
Exactly.
So I think that's something that you need to bake in time for just opportunity for whatever comes about, and letting yourself do that.
That is a struggle with working a daytime job, is because there are times when I'm like, oh man, I really want to draw something right now, but I'm supposed to be doing X or whatever. So it is challenging when you have that, like, I want to go film a video outside, but it's like, but no, I have to sit at my desk and do this stupid fucking spreadsheet or whatever and get that done. So that is kind of the downside of a day job.
Well, yeah, I am not a fan of the system.
No.
But see, anyone listening to this, I feel like it's funny. I'm like stumbling over my words talking to you. I'm trying to talk really quickly, and I do not know why. It's just different with you here, which I like this.
Well, yeah, so, you do. I'm glad you like it because you're stuck with me. Well, yeah. Making things weird since 1993.
I'm glad you have a jingle, which one day we'll go through and record all of the jingles you've made.
I have so many jingles.
So see, this is why the other show was going to be called like All Tangents or whatever it was going to be. I forget.
Yeah, it was. And we were going to have the little math.
Yeah, the tangent line.
I've not done well in math historically, so I don't know what it's called.
But I completely lost my train of thought of what I was going to say. So, But yeah, we're here just to document your journey and bring people along for the ride, to show the ups and the downs, because it's not it's not all ups. There's a lot of effort that you're going to put in.
Well, and a lot of questioning yourself and like, am I good enough? Do I care about this? Do people think I'm insane? Do people think I'm dumb? And then it's like, do I care what people think?
Well, that's
like,
the big thing.
I haven't talked to some of these people that I like have follow whatever in however many years. And even if it's people that like I know or like see on a daily basis, doesn't matter. Like that's the thing that I always ask myself. Doesn't matter. Like you will die one day. It doesn't matter if you like don't do this or do this. Like, does it make you happy?
Well, yeah, are you spending your time how you want to spend it? That not every minute of every day will be how you want to spend it, but if you were to look back at the last week, the last month, the last year, is there at least a very strong percentage of that time that you feel satisfied with? Like that's the important part of life, I think.
Yeah, you don't have to suffer through your life, because there is this idea like, no, you have to work this job that maybe you don't like. I've been talking to a couple of people, and they are not happy in their job situation, but then they're like, oh, well, this
pay
is
your dues. It's what you have to do.
Yeah, until you can retire and you get your pension and then you die. And it's like, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard. You're going to be miserable, then you're going to retire and maybe have 10, 20 years left, and then you're gone forever. Like there's no coming back.
Well, yeah, and it's like your best years. Your best years, every year is your best year.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, there's a period of your life where you're just more capable and able to do certain things, or say to build this side hustle. Like you're not beaten down and just exhausted all the time. Like you're tired from work, but you're not. You haven't dealt with it.
Down. Yeah, not gonna lie.
But yeah, it's not to the degree that someone who has been doing it for 30 years or
not
something.
At all. Not even remotely close. So I can only imagine.
But yeah, I'm very much not about the system. Like people listening don't really hear from me
Anarchy!
much. But like I'm usually just showcasing the person I'm talking to. So I don't talk about it a lot, but yeah, I'm not really big on schooling. Like higher education.
Yeah, which that is where we differ.
Well, yeah, I'm big on education.
Yeah.
But not on the system.
Right.
And I'm not big on just the job space.
Yeah.
And they can probably hear Alpha meowing in the other room. It's funny.
It's like, it's about dinner time. So it's just like, hello.
But yeah, I really think that self-reliance is a hugely undervalued skill.
Well, and the whole 9-to-5 job, like that is just such like like we've talked about this, but from factory work, like you had your 12-hour shift, but then people fought to have an 8-hour shift. And like, that was like, oh my God, thank God I only have to work 8 hours. But now it's like, but we don't do like, not a lot of jobs are manual labor focused as much anymore. It's more like the thought work, I guess you could call it. I don't even know what to call it.
Well, there's only so many hours of deep work, like Cal Newport would say.
That's why people just sit around the office talking about whatever, or around the water cooler, as they say, because it's like you can only, like you get 4 hours of productivity in at a time.
And then, when you're there, just because, like you say,
God,
start the day and spend an hour or two chatting. Then it's like, oh, let me check my email, and then someone else asked for this. So it just... Yeah. Not to go down the rabbit hole of how much I'm not a fan of the work world, but I think this series, like I hope that it'll help whoever's listening, whoever's watching, just really, really get started.
Oh yeah. If you are thinking about starting something, just fucking do it. The worst thing that happens is you don't do it tomorrow. Okay.
Well, and
don't invest a ton of money right away. Start slow, start small. Just fucking do it. Get out there.
Just
right now. Do it. Stop listening. Go. Do it.
But yeah, just start with your time, because that's really if whatever time you have, if it's something you want to do, like there's no reason to hold back. There's no reason to worry about what other people are thinking.
God, yeah. Like nobody matters. Like the amount of times I've thought about, oh, this person's doing this. Oh, it's been like, that's awesome. Blah, blah, blah's making coin purses or bottle cups. Like I have friends who are making stuff, and it's like, that's fucking awesome. I'm so glad they're like doing stuff. I'm not like, oh, look at blah blah blah, she thinks she's all that.
And even if someone is, it doesn't matter. Those
people suck ass. Like fuck them. Just do what you want to do.
I like that this episode will get the explicit rating.
I know. Sorry.
No, it doesn't matter.
I was told I swear a lot recently. So.
Nothing wrong with that, but I want you to be you know?
It's my poetic nature.
Very poetic. As you snort into your water cup. So when she really laughs, she snorts, and it's awesome. But it's rare that she snorts while drinking water. So that was
that was special.
That was a special moment you all experienced.
That recorded.
Yeah. So you did have some questions, but
yes, I
do
Mr.
we?
Saris.
So
should we save them?
I was thinking this first episode, we're getting our feet wet.
Yeah.
We're sort of.
They are.
No. Yeah, I spilled my water all over the floor.
I thought that was Pete.
But we're just sort of showcasing, like, setting the stage so people know, like, where you're at, and moving forward. We're going to be documenting and working through ideas, working through plans.
Yeah.
So maybe just before we, like, head out, meaning to the kitchen for dinner.
Cauliflower pizza. I'm so excited.
But before we do that, what do you sort of envision for the next week or so? Do you have anything in that you're planning?
I have so many things. So the other evening I was filming, I filmed a couple videos about my like sort of process with making stickers, like how I package things for less than $1, because things are really expensive if you like buy certain supplies. So it's just some tips and tricks that I've learned to help other people. Cause then it's like, well, if I can figure it out, like might as well tell people about it.
Well, and presentation does matter because like your stickers are really nice, but if they were just in a plain white envelope with nothing else, it doesn't feel like you're maybe getting what you like expect to get out of your purchase.
Like if you get something from like a designer, like Prada, for instance, oh my God, their boxes are amazing. Or Gucci, the Gucci loafer box. Oh, love it so much. It's like nice and thick and sturdy. So I am such a paper nerd. It's like ridiculous. So being an archivist is also perfect. But yeah, like your packaging is what really matters, honestly. Like sometimes more than the product, even though I know you're not really supposed to say that. Like you should also have a good product. But yeah, how you sell it is like, just like people. Some people look really hot, but they're shitty on the inside. Some people don't look so great, but they're great on the inside. But which one do you pick?
Well, I mean, there's everything in between as well. It's not only two choices.
Nope, A or B, pick one.
So then this week you're working on those videos?
Yeah. So yeah, circle back. So working on editing those videos and then coming up with more content ideas. I'm shooting the second episode of my art history mocktail series. Oh my God, I had so much fun with that.
It is such a good series. Like,
well, thank you.
We'll talk about that one more next week because, I want to keep these episodes pretty tight.
Oh yeah.
We're at 46 minutes already, but I want to shoot for like 30, 40 minutes just of like this recap and like getting everything rolling. But I love what are you calling it?
Art history mocktails.
Yeah, art history mocktails. And
I just thought it would be fun just trying to turn a painting into a drink.
Yeah, and it's really good because you're bringing people along on the journey. So like definitely.
Yeah, like I'm building it with you essentially. So just trying to see, I hope this works.
Well, yeah, the ups and downs of you trying to do it.
So far successful with the first episode.
So if you're watching
I'm scared
this on
for my
YouTube,
next one.
If you're watching this on YouTube, like just check out the rest of Amara's channel because the latest video, the video right before this one, is Starry Night, and see if she can. I guess spoiler alert, you already figured it out in that episode. No, but yeah, like I really, really like that episode. It's so good.
Yeah, it turned out surprisingly well.
But yeah, so definitely check that out, and I think we should wrap here for this week, and then
wrap it up. Gotcha. Never mind.
So let's see if I have this outro. There it is. Okay. So we have 43 seconds to close this episode of the show. And if you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And also be sure to check out Amara's video version on her channel. You can go to amara.me/YouTube. And make sure to like and subscribe because we're going to be doing more of these every Saturday, Side Hustle Saturday. And yeah, I don't even know how to close these because it's just different. But I just wanted to, reiterate. Like, get out there and like dream less and do more.
Just do it. Come on, people. Like, you have that. Everyone has that in them. I've always wanted to, whatever.
Yeah.
Just do it. As long as you're not harming anybody. Just do it. The
See
end.
ya.